And we are at 135. That looks like it's almost everybody. So once again, welcome everybody to our All Aboard with Seesaw. We will be looking at some writing, reading, math strategies, and science and social studies resources that you all can put along with your Seesaw this school year. We are going to look at updates that Seesaw made. And so just know that on some of the updates, they only will come out on features of the premium version, which is the one that the district has bought for our bilingual students. If you're lucky enough, you will have all your students be bilingual. But if you're not, just like this school year, you will have where you'll have to create a Gmail account or a personal account to do your Seesaw activities. The good thing is that the one that's not premium or the one that's not a plus, the free one has a lot you can do either ways with it. So don't despair, it's all manageable. You'll be able to see those things. And as I'm gonna go ahead and mention a few things on the updates, don't feel like, oh no, but I don't have the district account, or I have all my students are not bilingual. And that's okay. You can also upgrade your account to a trial version for 60 days. And I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just going to show you a few of the updates that you'll see. The video and the link feature now have multi-page available. That means like whenever you're going to put up a video, you can add like a little slideshow type of thing on the right-hand side, and you can add different pages with explanations or with assignments on there. So there's this multi-page feature, but it's only available to the district account, the one that we're using for our bilingual students. You're welcome to make a copy of the presentation. It's there on the chat. Ms. Arabella put it out for us. Please go ahead and click on the link if you want to make a copy of it. Actually, I think I restricted it because I keep revising it once in a while as we see new features, but it doesn't matter. It'll still go into your Google account, and then you just won't be able to make a copy of it because I restricted it. So anyways, the presentation is on the chat. We will also email it to you along with the video recording. Students can now put their assignments, another update is students can now put their assignments in draft mode and come back to it when they need to. And the teacher will be able to see who's on draft mode, just like in Google Classroom. She can see the process of where they're at and who has returned the work or who has submitted. The cool thing now also, and again, this is just with the district account, but you can upgrade your Seesaw account to a Seesaw Plus, and you'll get the trial version for 60 days. Or I can recommend that you become a Seesaw ambassador, even though there's now like a first stage to that. There's the pioneer that you have to be a pioneer for 6 months. I'm not sure if the pioneer is going to give you the free account, but the Seesaw ambassador does. So many of you that do have the Seesaw ambassador, you should have the premium features, which are pretty cool. When the student now the draft mode and there's another feature, and I'll be showcasing it to you guys. When they're on draft mode and they finally finish their work and they submit, the teacher's also now able to return the work back to the students and say, okay, you need to edit these following items if in case it's needed. So very cool feature. That's a new update as well. And again, I will showcase them to you in a little bit. And so that's item number 3 that says teacher and student notification of when assignment is submitted. Assignment can now be returned to student. This is only in the district account again. And then very new, just released today actually, is called the Seesaw Learning Hub. I think it's amazing. I think you guys should register for this. It opens today and it's available till August 7th. They have different virtual conferences and mini little courses on Seesaw with like expert ideas, which I think are pretty amazing. I saw a little glimpse of it and I'm already registered. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at that sometime this week. And again, it's like they're pre-recorded. They're like courses that you can go in and out until August the 7th. So we encourage you to go to the Seesaw Community Learning Hub And then lastly, I do want to mention that all these updates become available as soon as you sign into your Seesaw account. However, on the iPads and tablets, the students have to upgrade to the latest iOS and upgrade to the latest operating system for the Androids. You must update the app in order for the new updates to come and the students see that draft mode or see how they can go into the multi-page and so forth. Again, some of these features are free for, well, they're not free, they're in the premium account. Everything crosses over though, except we just have a little bit of limitations on the free account. Again, please install your latest update inside of your apps and your iPads and your tablets and so forth. The Seesaw version is 7.3.
Terry, if the slides are very small, just have them hover over your name and pin it so that it can get larger, your presentation slide.
Yes, and that's on the end user. You're going to locate my name under the people and then pin my icon. There's two icons of me. The one that's presenting is the one that I have my icon for my iPad, and then the other icon. So please pin the one that says that it's being presented right now. And that's how you can enlarge it. Okay, Arabella, you want to mention the agenda we have for today?
Yes. We've got a lot of good things to cover today, and hopefully if you're new to Seesaw, you'll be able to, once you finish with today's training, you'll be able to get started on it or practicing for when school starts. We'll go over the Seesaw, the basics, and you'll get to see what the teacher view looks like, and then the student view, and you'll also see where or how to log in for the distance for the remote learning. We'll also go into detail over the teacher dashboard, and so which covers posting of student work, assigning activities, or even creating an activity from scratch. Also, we'll introduce you, if you're not already familiar, to digital choice boards, and then from there we'll move on to additional features that are available for editing your activities, your assignments, and how to create folders is another one of the things we'll cover today. Other things that you're going to learn today is how to share your announcements and messages with parents. And something that really comes in handy is how to add your Google Meets, the recording like we have right now. We do the recording. If you have students who are not able to join live, you can always put it in there so that they can refer to it at a later time. And then we have some additional resources that will come in handy. You know, they're time savers, and you can pick them up and make them your own and work with them. So thank you for joining us, and let's move on.
Awesome. Thank you, Arabella. And in case any of you need to put the closed captions just to hear us, like what we're trying to say a little bit better, again, if the internet is flaky on your end, you can always put the closed captions, and that might clarify a bit of what we're saying. It's just an advice for you guys. You don't have to, but it's up to you. Okay, so what's new in Seesaw, or what do we see in Seesaw, sorry. So these are the basic 4 things we see in Seesaw. The journal, the activities, the inbox is where we communicate with our parents or with our students, like an announcement, or if you want to put in your Google Meets in here. The journal is the area where you'll have all your students' work where you can start to grade. And we'll discuss those things. And then fourthly and lastly, on the teacher view, you have skills. Students do not have skills, and that's because skills is like your grade book, where you can add each lesson that you make, you can add a skill set and say how you would want to rate it. And we'll cover that in a few minutes.
So this is what the teacher view is going to look like. The difference is when you'll see the student view in the next slide, they're not able to see the skills. So you have 4 different tabs, which we'll refer to it as the teacher dashboard. So in there you'll have 4 tabs, which is the journal tab, the activities, the inbox, and the skills. Under the journal tab is where you'll find a lot of the student work. The kids will go in there and look for their assignments in there. And so when you're on that tab, the teacher can go and specifically select a student name and then go into see what their assignment is and give them feedback and grade and all that information. Under the activities tab, this is where you would create your own activity, or at the same time, you could pick up something from the community library, and we'll look at the library somewhere along the presentation. And maybe you pick one up from there, you can make it your own and assign it to the students. The inbox is where you can post announcements, send messages to parents and students. Actually, not send them to the students, but when the kids are in there, they'll be able to see the notifications that new assignments have been added. And then the skills comes in really handy because you can keep track of the skills. You can select from a list that's available or put your own. And you can assign the skills to the different activities. And that way, if you're looking for the information on how the kids did, you can filter by skills and look at, how the kids are doing at that time. So this is what the teacher view, and then there's a little note on the side where it says to make a student account, just so that you can see what the student view is going to be like.
Yes, you're right. Sorry, I moved on the slide because I know what delay. We did make a note that it's always like the best practice to make a sample students so that you can model for your student when you're doing whole group instruction. So yes, thank you for pointing that out, Arabella. You want to discuss the student view with them for a little bit?
Sure. And this is a student view. Like I mentioned earlier, it does not have the skills, but they can see where if you look at the bottom, there's a screenshot of it, but there's encircled in red. We have this view is under the journal view. And so if there is an assignment in there, then they'll be able to see it there. And then the second screenshot is the activities. If they click on activities, they could go straight to what the activity is, or the list of different activities. And then on the third screenshot, we have the inbox where they have the information of announcements or the recordings for the meets and all that. So the student view is a little simpler. It just has one less box in there.
That's correct. Awesome. Yes. And again, some of you have asked, okay, do I need to put my meets in this? That's up to you. If you want to make it a class announcement, it's a good practice to put it in there. But you can also put it in your journal and announce in there also like your DOL or your recordings. And we'll showcase all of this to you all in a few minutes. Let me go ahead and just talk a little bit about this one right here. The Teacher Center and Parent Guides, all that you need to get ready and started for the year is kind of encompassed in this little slideshow or this little video. You're welcome to play it on your own. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to, but it shows you how to use the learning codes. And thanks to one of our DLSs, she's awesome, Miss Lily Guguedes, she created this as a guide for teachers. So you can always go in there to see how you can set up your student. It's not very long, so it'll help you set up and get started. And again, these are things that the DLS will prompt and share with you guys at the beginning of the school year. But just FYI, if you need a parent guide or another teacher quick start guide that's on paper, you're welcome to click on these links on the left-hand side. And then you have the Seesaw Help Center. If in case, let me just click on that one. You have any issues or any kind of things that you really want to know more about, you're welcome to come in here, and it gives you more ideas on how to use Seesaw. Or you can just kind of say, okay, I need help with assignments. And it will, how do I send an assignment to my student? And I search and it tells you how to do it. So it even has the infographics on it. Very helpful site to use, which is the Seesaw Help Center. And we have listed it on this site as one of the bottom links right there. But again, when you play this video, I'm just going to show you how to add your students and how to get started to launch off your school year with Seesaw. Please note, you've got your bilingual students you're going to do, and those will be a different way because you'll already have the class rostered through our class link. And then this one, this one's right here that you see here, the steps for this one's going to be more the personal account that you might have to set up. It's a good thing to look at it and see, you know, how it could be beneficial to you. So like I said, I'm not going to play it only because we're not going to really cover that portion of it.
Once before
So-
we move on, Terry, just a couple of things on the chat. Some of them are not able, again, are not able to see, or it's either too small or they can't see it. If it, you might want to change the view. If you hover over Terry's name, Maria Guerrero, and you'll see a little push pin. You can pin it to make the slide, bring the slide to the forefront. It'll make it bigger. Otherwise, if you go to the three little dots at the bottom of your menu bar, the little ellipses that are standing up, and where it says change layout, you might want to try looking at that and do maybe the one with the sidebar and see if that one is better. And that way on the sidebar, you'll have the chat box open. And then Terry, there's a couple of questions as far as the pre-K 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Let me see.
So with pre-K, I know you can use Seesaw, or you can use your Class Dojo if you got instruction from your administrator to use Class Dojo. As far as I know, again, administration they're going to give them the decision. The deans will decide if they are going to use Seesaw for pre-K, then we have to follow what the district says, right? But this past year, they had the option to use Seesaw or Class Dojo. But if your deans say, you know what, I've already created your activities for Seesaw, we find it's a great visually appealing board or platform that could be used, let's please use Seesaw, then we highly recommend for you to use Seesaw, given to what your administration may be saying the district is needing you to do. So actually, yes, Seesaw is awesome. We love Seesaw. Class Dojo is good too, but we love Seesaw because it has a lot of like hands-on that the kids will do. So if you're here today to see that, that'd be great. And then just wait around and see what the district decides on the platform that's going to be recommended district-wide.
And then for second grade?
For second grade, I believe, and don't quote me, but I believe they're going to be using Google Classroom. It may change, but just know all across, all the way to fifth grade, everyone is using Seesaw for bilingual students. So if you're here today and you feel like, okay, I came to learn a little more, this is great for you anyways, because you have bilingual students more than likely in your class. So yes, our students, well, we haven't confirmed about the pre-K students having emails just yet, but we're trying to get them there so we can get them rostered in through our class link. I know it was something we were working on and are still working on. So we will get back to you guys on that as soon as school is ready. You know, we will train you guys on all of that that's going to be needed for your kiddos, for your pre-K and so forth. Second grade might be using, again, Google Classroom. Good questions. Thank you, everybody. So again, we're going to cover, I'm going to go through a few slides and then I'm going to get out of the presentation just to kind of give you a little bit of hands-on it. We're going to see how whole group instruction is posted through the student work and the assigning of the Seesaw activities. And then we're also going to see how to send an announcement to your parents or your students. Again, these activities about creating activities and sharing announcements and posting whole group work, we're going to go ahead and kind of explain it all off of the platform in a minute. And the sharing of announcements, that's where you want to send your reminders. You want to give them personal messages. Maybe you can, you know, just set up a few students if you want to just tell them this certain message. You could do it that way. As well as actually assigning work. You can also differentiate the assignments depending on your students' needs. But going back to sharing announcements, this is where you would post links to AR, your quizzes, your iExcel, Smarty-Ants, or any kind of interactive images that you want your students to work with that are not necessarily a grade. You can post them under send announcements. And this will go on the feed of the journal. And then the activity, which is the one before that, the one right here, the one with the light bulb, that's where you create something or you go ahead and grab one from the community and modify it. In the assignment activity, that's where they will again, interact with the work, and the assignments will go into your journal feed so that you can see what they posted and you can grade them from there. And so we're going to, again, look at all of this hands-on in a few minutes. And so we're going to start with creating creating an activity, even modifying things that are posted in the community. You see right here, there's community on the top left side, and then there's my library, because those are things that either I brought in from the community and I want to start assigning and modifying, and I can do that. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So we're going to go through all these steps, how to search for a certain grade level and subject, and then how to search, and then go ahead how to create something on your own. Some people find it like, oh my gosh, that's so hard to do. No, it's very, very easy to do. We're even going to show you how you can download a PDF and upload it in there. Even take a screenshot from some of the activities that the deans have posted. And I will show you how to add the assignment into the dashboard. So let me go ahead and escape from there. And let's go ahead and go to the Seesaw class. Ooh, I had left something loading on purpose before starting. So, and it had a video.
It's still loading.
It's still loading because the video was very long.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. We'll just go ahead and refresh all of this and kind of talk a little bit about those items that were in there. And I'll show you that you can even post PDFs and so forth that you may have, or Google Slides where you created some of your resources. Okay, so we'll start right here under the big plus. The posting of student work, you're kind of using that to model with your kids and kind of showing them how the platform works. You can tell them, you know, these icons, this is how you use it. You can open it up and show them where the text box is at and what they can do with it. Also, you can change the color of it. And so whenever I click on post student work, it allows me to do different things just to showcase. I kind of use it so that I can explain to them how to do it, how to, you know, manipulate the different items that are on here, how to use the record when they're going to record. So I like to go in there for that reason. Because it has all the features that you're going to use. And then, of course, when you're done with your work, you're going to press the green check mark. And this is, again, where you're going to give your students explanation of how to use the dashboard on there. Again, just get familiar with the different things that you can do. You can upload a picture. You can record yourself saying something about the lesson at this point. So I'm just going to turn it on and just say, okay, I'm just going to explain. Hold on. All right, students, I'm just going to explain what this assignment was about, and the kids also could use this like they would for the Flipgrid. They can kind of do their voice on here. And I put that, and it gives me the ability to just kind of, you know, work around my platform that's here. And so just, again, we want our kids to be comfortable with the different things that this dashboard can do. And so you want to teach them with this. And then there's this add your voice caption, or just like they do when they do the bus assignments, and they want to explain their drawing or something, they can always just kind of add their voice caption and, you know, just explain everything the assignment was about. Click the done. They can delete it and add it again if they didn't like it, just like we show them when we're doing bus, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. Again, I was just going in here so that you can showcase to the students what it is that is in Seesaw. Okay, so right here, and it says caption added. When I turn it in, when I press the green check mark, you will see a voice caption as well, if in case you didn't put a video. But just know you could do that student voice, and you can also do where the student explains. Even this is good for as a teacher. You can explain your lesson here. You can add your little video here with the camera, and you can just, again, record like I did. Only one recording is allowed, so I would re-record it if I need to. And if I wanted to give myself an explanation to the assignment that was here, I can do that as a teacher. So it works both ways. The features are accessible to both the students and the teacher, just kind of know the ideas of how you could use them, right? You have your pencil drawing here where you can change the colors on there. And if you wanted to draw out, I don't know, the clouds or something, or draw out, you know, journal writing of how they're feeling today. And in the text box, I would come back to the T and sorry, I could delete this one or come back on this one and start typing here. This is going to be my journal writing. In the text box itself, when you create one, you might want to go ahead and type the word, type here like I did earlier. It kind of gives the students, oh, this is where I'm going to have to type the information. So it kind of like gives them a little heads up. You know, put your name right here, like you're expecting that from the students. So the text box is already kind of pre-made for them by you guys, by letting them know that that's where I want your name and so forth. And here's where I want your journal writing and so forth. The eraser's there, in case you didn't want something, you can erase it. And then I'm going to show you these items right here, but I'll refer to them also when we're actually looking on a PDF, because on a PDF, you might need to zoom into the question so that you can answer it. And I'll refer to them in a little bit. You've got your undo and redo, and then you've got your delete if you want to just start all over again. I was mentioning one of the updates that's available now is to put it in draft form. And again, the draft is only available for the premium version, which is your district account. The free one won't have it unless you upgrade to the trial version of it. You don't want to pay $120, but you might want to do the 60-day trial. It will also allow you to add a page. And so there's where I was saying these are new features to Seesaw. They're just new updates that were released days ago on July 15th. So I mean, they're pretty cool. I think they're nice. Sometimes you might need to you might not need to use them. So you can actually live by without them. And I think it'll be okay. But just know that it could do that. And then I'm going to show you where you can respond to the students' work and return it to them in a little bit. Okay, so when you're done and you teach your students that, okay, you're going to answer it in here, you've taught all the items and features that are here. You show them how to check mark there, and you can differentiate at this point. If I only want to give it to certain students, and I'm going to press the green check mark, and I can differentiate. I also have the ability to create folders, and Arabella will talk about folders in a little bit. I'm going to bypass that for now. And now it's going to assign it just to those students so that I know I'll make sure to differentiate for certain students if in case I need to. And again, I'm looking at my data analysis as I quiz them at the end of the week. Who's going to need that reteach? And notice that those students have it only assigned to them. So we have a question that says, can you post clickable Google Slides into Seesaw? Yes, thank you for asking. I actually have some amazing resources at the very end on slide number 20. So I'll go there really quick so you can see that. On slide number 20, it says, Awesome Seesaw Activity Library. When I became a Seesaw ambassador a few years ago, and every year I had to renew it, except for now it's going to be every 3 years because you need to become a pioneer first. They actually give you a library of tons of activities, but I'm here to share the wealth, and I am posting it as well under slide number 20, and it was the link that said Awesome Seesaw Slide Activities. There's also a lot of things available on Wakelet. If you're familiar with Wakelet, you can go in there and take a look at some activities that are clickable, and they bring them in to your Seesaw. So this one, this person, these two people created them, and it explains how to use it, and there's just different subjects you can click on. And if you liked something, you can download it. You can also, I'm going to actually show you how I did it, but I'm going to click on this character changes. And then when you're on character changes on the left-hand side, you'll usually see something that says click here, And that is going to be made a seesaw activity for you. That's also like, you know, could be used, and it's clickable and it's how do you say, interactive. And so you'll see like what it has instructions, and you'll see what it has for the students and so forth. And all you have to do is save activity right here. And then just wait for it to come into your library, okay? And then once it's in your library, it's going to, so it's this one right here. And I can open it up and I can say assign, or at this moment, I can go ahead and edit it. And it says right here, copy edit activity. And I can give a little bit more directions as to what they have to do. So I can actually do a voiceover. And I highly recommend that because kids like to hear your voice. Sometimes they don't know how to read the instructions, especially babies. But if you just train them to click on add voice, that way they can follow the directions. And so I'm just gonna quickly add it really quick. Good morning, boys and girls. Today you will be doing an activity on character changes. Click the add button and then you will begin to draw. Make sure you label your responses and click the check mark when done. So very simple. I just added a voice media. I could also add a multimedia if I wanted to add a screencastify or a YouTube. If I wanted to do that, I can do that at that point too. Then I'm just going to quickly save over here on the right hand side, and you will see that it's now going to be ready for me to assign. So I'm going to go ahead and assign, and now I'm going to go ahead and have them on all students, but I could edit the students and assign them again to a particular set of students if I wanted to. And so I have it right here, and the kids, now I'm going to go in and pretend I'm a student, right? So I'm going to click on it, and now I can pretend I'm the student and work off and do, actually I have to come in here and play with the activity to do it. Again, remember I mentioned you can be a sample student, and I really, really would prefer that you guys be a sample student so that you can showcase to them what they're going to do in there as a student for that assignment. So I'm going to go to activity, and I'm on the teacher view, so I can't do that right now. But if I had the tab open with the student view, I would find it, and I would be a student, and I would pretend to go here and press go to the responses of it. And the lesson's going to come in. The instructions are up here at the top. My play. Add it really quick. Good morning, boys and girls. Today you will be doing an activity on, so just kind of direct them where the video instructions are at, or whatever the instructions are at to the actual work. They're always going to be there, and then you can start using your text box to tell us, you know, in the beginning, he was sad because he lost his dog. And you can change the color on that if you want it to kind of stand out. You can do that, and I'm going to click on the outside a little bit so I can drag it and kind of move it over as best as it fits. There's other options too, the styles that you might want to use, and formatting as well. Not too much, but there's a few things that you can use to make changes inside of fonts and stuff. So that was that, and then I can answer the other part by putting a text box as well. And again, if I click right here, it gives me more style options that I might want to use. If I don't want a little box in the around the text box, I would click on the other one. So these are just different ways that you can play with the text box as well. No outline, outline, and refill. Just little options for you guys. I can always put a little hyperlink also to this text box if I wanted to, and it will tell me that I have a hyperlink on there. And so if I had, I don't know, a website or a video, like this is Pete the Cat video, I can copy it, and then I can come back over here. Oops, sorry. I have too many windows open. So sorry, kind of leaves everything open. As in Seesaw, it leaves everything open as you go through the different pages that you are navigating. It kind of leaves them all open. So now that text box has a hyperlink. So just know that you can do that in there as well. If I had a PDF, and I'll show it on a PDF, I can use these features right here. This is the zoom button. If I want to zoom in, I can zoom in. Sometimes the little ones need that. Oh, I need to come in here and maybe, you know, use this part right here to draw a text box in this part, but this was in my way. So that's what the zoom is there for. I can also remove those bottom things, those bottom icons that were there. I don't want to delete it, but I think I'm going to have to. Okay, well, these icons that are down here, the last one that I last kind of clicked on, when I use this caption part, it will allow me to draw with that last feature that I last selected. And again, let me click on there. If I had last selected this one, when I want to remove the bottom features because they were in my way, I can use the last one that I selected. Again, these are kind of new features, and they are in the premium and the free one that you can, no, I don't want to delete. I'm just going to go ahead and check it off. That's already uploading them. But on the left-hand side, you have the delete, the little icon for delete. You have the zoom in, zoom out, and then you have the little pencil that allows you to write like I just did down there and remove the features that were in the way maybe. So I went in as a sample student, and I have one that I can review now. So that sample student, it gave me a notification as a teacher that I'm ready to grade that child's work. Let me put it as a sample student, so let me go there. Let's see here. Let me review it really quick. Hold on, it's thinking. Give me a moment. Okay, there it is. If I am reviewing anybody's work, I can approve it. I can delete it, which not most of the time you don't want to delete it unless you really need to. But I can send it back to the students for those of you that are going to be using it with a bilingual account. You can send it, that's very, very new, and it's a premium feature. You can now send it back for the students to edit their work and so forth. So I just wanted to cover that portion of it. And I'm not going to do it because it's going to tell me about the premium version of it. Okay, let's see here. So that was there, and that's how I added something that was clickable. And again, what I did was follow, let me go back a little bit. I'm gonna go through these steps right here, which is now how do I create something from scratch, or how do I get something from the community? So how do I get a PDF from one of the deans? All you have to do is take a screenshot of the activity if it's a PDF that you want to get, or if the handout is by itself on one worksheet, then you can just upload the PDF. But if it's in the packet, you may want to take a screenshot of it. Then I'm going to go through this portion of it where it's like you simply are creating and naming the activity. You kind of already saw this when I was modifying someone's activity. It's the same thing, but now I'm creating something from scratch. So you're going to see me do that. And let's hope that I hit on the right tab. Okay, let me come to assign activity. So this is where I would get started in assigning activities. And I can grab one from the community again. And then I'll show you right now how to add them from scratch. So there's a bank of some. There's not a whole bunch, but there's, you know, there's some that might be very useful. So let's look at the language arts one. And I'm going to go ahead. I've been practicing my TPRI. I actually like this one. Or I can just kind of search for fractions or whatever it is. But I'm going to be practicing my TPR, and I want to go ahead and I look through it and say, yes, I'd like to assign it. If not, I could put the heart and it'll put it in my library. So when I am ready to see it, or I could just assign it, but sometimes I like to put in my library first, because from my library, I can modify it as I did earlier. I can come in here and again, do my voiceover. And so the same things I'm modifying in here. In here, I can put a multimedia video or other additional instructions. I'm going to save it. Well, I'll just put my voiceover really quick. Okay, boys and girls, today you will be practicing your ending sounds. Please fill out the letter that best matches the sound to the image. And so pause, it's going to process it, then save it once it uploads it. Awesome. I see Ms. Benavides did some curriculum. Thank you, Ms. Benavides, for sharing that. When you have a link that you want to share over, and I'm actually going to show you how to send that out to people, like you can go ahead and, you know what, now that we're there in that part, let me show you that. It's quite easy once you have it. So Arabella was actually going to review it, but let's say you wrote one that was really good. You're going to come in here and get activity link, and then that share link comes out. And you can copy paste it inside, oops, sorry. You would copy paste it inside a, I don't know, you could put it in a document that has a list of stuff, and you can share that over to people. Even your deans can do that too. Like they can get their cares and things that they uploaded, they can go back and share it with you guys by link. Just like you saw with that other person who had a bank of activities, these right here. That's basically how he did it. He got a shareable link and he hyperlinked. He got this link right here and he hyperlinked that PowerPoint or that slideshow he may have. I think I'm getting a little bit of feedback. I don't know if someone has their mic unmuted or something, but you know what? At this point, I'll take a little break and ask if you have any questions for me so far.
We do have a couple of questions on the, well, comments and questions on the chat.
Okay.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Oh, awesome. Ms. Rodriguez. If I'm making assignments editable on Google Slides, will I be able to download them from the drive and upload them here? Yes, that's a great, great question. That is an awesome question. Let me see here. I think I had some things that I could do. Now, let me just open this one. Oh, this one was the one that was taking me forever to upload. So I was trying to see, let's pretend this was Mr. Rodriguez. If you had assignments for teachers that you made on Google Slides, you would just come down here and click on File PDF, and you're going to make this one particular slide or this one particular worksheet a PDF. And when you download it, and you can upload Google Slides too, but to make it editable, it might be a PDF might be a good idea. So yes, we need you all to mute your mics to make sure that there's no feedback, because some people might have a hard time hearing me. There's somebody who has their mic open. Unless Arabella, you want to mute yours and see if it helps. So,
mine's already muted.
Yeah, I don't know whose it is, and I think it's a little better. I don't know whose it was, but thank you. Thank you whoever muted it. It's okay. So what I did is I downloaded it, and then I can come back into my Seesaw, and let's say I'm going to create an activity, or I'm going to post student work. I can always come and upload or select things from my drive. And I'm going to go ahead and upload that bulletin board. The first one that I tried to upload had a video of my Google Meets, so that was taking forever to upload. Hopefully this one doesn't take too long. But usually when it takes too long, it's because the graphics are very, very large. I don't remember if I selected the right one, but I think I did. It's coming in. Okay. So actually it uploaded everything. It brought in everything. I guess it made it all a PDF. But I could make it a PDF, or I can leave it as a Google slide. It is up to you. And then they can make it interactive and so forth when they're ready to work with it. And again, let me start from the beginning of when when you are signing, let me press check mark. So this one's going to post on, it's going to take forever, I think. I had too many things on this one. But it's actually pretty cool that I can tell the kids you're going to go to slide number 5. If you wanted to do it this way, or if you want to break it up for them and put one at a time as you saw me do earlier with those lessons, that bank of lessons, you can do that. I don't think I like this. I think I'm going to close it. But to answer your question, Ms. Rodriguez, this is how you do it, and it would take too long, so maybe do it prior or do a few at a time instead of all your packet. I would recommend you do a worksheet at a time. Again, remember that we don't have access too much to the multi-page, so I don't know if it's actually going to give me like, you can't do this.
So if will it continue, once you bring it in, will it still be editable?
It should be on the student's end, yes. So it kind of like gets stuck to this board. It gets stuck to like a PDF. It snaps onto Seesaw, and then all these little icons become visible for me to do work off on the dashboard. So
Ms.
yes.
Guerrero, hi, it's Ms. Rodriguez. Can I ask real quick? So then,
yes,
will it be better, because what I'm asking is, I already created snapshots of some of the PDF assignments, and I uploaded them, or I've been uploading them to the Google Drive. But I've added some movable parts so that it can be interactive. If they save it as a PDF, then that will no longer be the option. They can upload. There is an option though to upload directly from the drive, correct?
Yes, there's an option to upload directly from the slides itself, which is from the drive, right? From Google Slides, yes, you bring it in and it will have that editable, movable portion to it.
Okay, because if they make it, I'm sorry, if they make it a PDF, then that would delete all the like interactive parts. They would have to do that over again on Seesaw, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Thank you for mentioning that. There is that possibility to put up a PDF and your worksheet that way. But if you have an interactive assignment in a Google Slides, you might as well put up your slides. And I was actually going to showcase that too inside of our training. But thank you for mentioning that, because it might be a question everybody has too. So I'm glad Ms. Rodriguez is here. I mean, because she's already, again, been working on your curriculum, and we invited her to come out and see all of Seesaw, what it could do. Because whether she shares it with you through Seesaw or she shares it with you in a slideshow, you have access in Seesaw to upload and do whatever it is that you need to do. So I'm just going to close this out because it was just taking way too long. Let me come back to this portion of it. And again, I can, inside my assignment, I can come in here and add those assignments. So I'm just going to start with the creation of assignments. And again, it's a review. I'm titling my assignment. I was earlier modifying it, and then I'm putting my instructions in here, kind of the same thing as I was showing earlier. And then I'm using my voiceover instructions, 1, 2, 3. And then right here, Ms. Rodriguez or anybody, this is where you can upload your template from your drive. So if you have a slideshow that you want to put, you can add it in here. Now there's 2 locations to it. Right now, let me see. This one's one of patterns, so I'm just going to select that one. I want the kids to work on this Google Slides that I made on patterns. There are 2 locations where you could put it. You could put it on the multimedia one or the one beneath. I kind of, first 20 pages will be imported for annotation and link with the full document available in the journal feed. Okay, so this person had their activity like that. Again, these are tons of Google Slides, and it came in as a PDF. And again, that whatever came out because I don't have the free version. So that one came in as a PDF, but let me go back a bit, because there's 2 ways I could do it. There's the other box beneath it where I could add it. So let me see if I could just edit it here. And then we'll recover it. no, it's still not allowing me to. So I'm just going to delete it and start again. And again, I'm going to title it. I'm going to give my instructions. And I can put it down here in the template. That's what I was going to just say right now, that after you're done with your voiceover, you type your instructions, you say your instructions, and maybe in here you can add a YouTube or other kind of references you might want to for this study and not editable portion of it. But right here at template for student responses is where, I'm sorry, Ms. Rodriguez, that's where you would put it. And so I'm going to come down here and look at, I'll pick the same one, and that should be editable. It might take a while because there's a lot of math activities. And typically you wouldn't upload the entire thing. You would upload a couple of pages at a time. And this one is also making them PDFs. The first 20 pages, oh, because they are PDFs, the first 20 pages of this PDF will be imported as an annotation. Okay, so it's imported as an annotation, check mark. And that means that they're going to have to use the pencil icon, the draw icon. Sorry, and again, it's super, super big. I shouldn't have selected such a huge one, but it's going a little faster than the other one. So it was just telling me that the first slides that they put in this Google Slides were PDF. The system recognized it. So the students can work off of it as an annotation. That's basically all it was saying. But whether it's something interactive or not interactive, they can, again, go back. This person made them non-interactive because they're going to be annotations. But in here, you could put your PowerPoint, your Google Slides, your items from your Drive, and put them in as a template for student responses. So it would be on the last item. Please place it in there. And then let's go back over here. Still trying to upload. So let me give it a minute. And again, this one, because this file had PDFs on the first 20 pages, it would be an annotation aspect of it. So once I upload it, I'm going to finish the activity. It doesn't look like it's taking too long, but just give it a second. Sometimes when you have video or you have a lot of graphics or many slides, it does take a long time. So just an FYI. And basically, I mean, you would do 1 or 2 activities at a time. You wouldn't really do what I'm doing. You would take that one slide and maybe export it or copy it into another slide to give the lessons for that week. You know, have it copied into a single slide for that week. Any questions while it tries to upload?
Way earlier, and I think we just overlooked it, there wasn't a question about if it's possible to organize all the assignments in order. Can you rearrange them? Or are they just by date?
What I would do is in here, I would, sorry, in here, like in your slides and stuff. Oh, I get the question. If we could rearrange them, they come in as the last assignment that you post. I understand your question. I'm sorry.
By date, I think, right? But you can't rearrange them.
No, it's kind of like a Facebook feed. They just kind of come in like Facebook would. The last post that you make, it's the last assignment that's going to populate there. So this one is also taking too long. Sorry about that. I think I might, let me try to open it again and see if it lets me log in. See if I can come back to that tab and see if it opens it. In order for any updates to occur, you must sign out of your account. So that was the drawing, that was the one that I'm trying to upload right now. Let me see if I press edit, it's still going to be loading. I'm just going to go ahead and delete it, but notice it saved it as a drawing, and all that drawing means is that, let me just use this again, that I would use this icon to annotate over that PDF. So it will come in, and then I will only be able to use the drawing icon instead of the text boxes. And I mean, there are times that I've only before. Let me show you right here on PDF. So this one actually only used the drawing aspect of it. So someone was asking, can we change the order of it? No, not really, but a good feature, Arabella and I were talking about it. You can come in here into the calendar and ask them, the kids to go ahead and go to the date that they need to refer to do that assignment. Okay, so there's a question right there, and I hope that was beneficial. So notice how I can just do that. Before I answer the question, let me go back. Again, I'm on the journal view. It's this one right here is where I get to see all my assignments. And if there is a particular assignment that I need to tell the kids to refer to, I can go to the calendar, or let's make it just a little bit easier. And I am going to go here and share the item as a QR code. And that's the assignment that I want them to do. So maybe I can refer to it like this by text, by chatting with my parents and letting them know this is a quick reference to the assignment that they have to do for today. So you can either let your students know the assignments are in the calendar for them to find them a little bit easier. That might be helpful for that question. Okay, let me see. There was another one. And if you just want to use one slide, use slides 2 or 3 only, how do we do that? So let me go back to my slides. This has a ton of slides. It would take forever to upload them, but you know what? These activities, and it's going to take forever for me to open them. This activity right here, the who, what, when, where, why, I would copy it. I could download it. Let me see if I could go file, download, and make it a JPEG, and it'll be a drawing one, or I can do this. I can copy this slide, open a brand new slide, and I can grab 2 or 3 slides that I want them to use and paste those in there. And I've done it this way before too, just FYI, and I would name them, like I would name it, it's gonna be, you know, week 1 reading activity. And I'm just gonna paste it on here. And there it is. I can delete this one, or I can keep copy pasting however many I want. But if you just want one at a time, now this is week 1 reading activity. I'm gonna be in Seesaw, and I close this one. I finally did it, but I closed this one and attached that other one that I just did for template respond. And it was called, let me see if it populates it as one of the first ones. Yes, it does. If I need to search for it, I can. So it's that first one. I'm selecting it, and now it's here. Again, when it's in here, you might want to put this text box in there so that you can tell the students type here. Just like I do with Google Slides, I actually have to color code that text box so that my kids can know where they're gonna type up their work. So once I'm done, I move it up there, and I continue to put type here on the rest, and the kids know to use that. Okay, but let's say I want to use only one page from the CARES. Yes. So in your CARES, I have listed this one right here that you would download it. You would take a screenshot of it, and then you would click Add to assign the activity and create the activity. Then fill in all the info that I just did, and you could do that. So it's very, very simple. If it's in your Drive, the CARES, and I'm just walking you through it, but the steps are listed really quick. So let me see. It's going to take a while to load them.
In the meantime, the question from Ms. Montemayor, she was in 2nd grade last year, and so this year she'll be in kinder. Will she have to create a new login for kinder?
Say that again, Arabella?
Miss Montemayor,
Mm-hmm.
she was in 2nd grade last year, and she has been moved to kinder. Will she have to create a new login for her kinder class?
No. Only if it's your, no. Under, let me check this off and just get it ready for the kids to use that activity really quick. So when you are creating your class, you don't have to archive your stuff if you don't want to. On the left-hand side, it will allow you, let me just go ahead and save this really quick to post it. On the left-hand side, it will allow you to visit your classes. So right here, I create a new class, and I put, now it's gonna be, again, it's gonna be Miss Guerrero, but now I teach, there's a little bit of a delay, now I teach kinder, and I put the check mark. And now that class, I'll start kind of new and, start putting them in there. But I can get the links from the other one and add them in here if I want, or I can just start new and start getting things from the community or from my Dean's packets or things that I may have in my drive and creating brand new things. I hope that answered your question. If you want to only use a PDF, go to the file and print and choose the PDF that you want. You could do that, or you could take a screenshot. Yes, you could do that, or take a screenshot of it. I was, oops, sorry, down here. I was downloading the PDF. Thank you for mentioning that. You can come here, file, and on your printers, that works too, yes. You can choose the destination of the type of printer it's going to be, and you can save it as a PDF. This one's going to be save as PDF, and you can go to the page number. Right now it's going to be page number 15, and it's still trying to preview it because it was rather large. Save it. So this one might take a little bit more steps. I don't know. It's up to you. So you could do that, or again, once you have it downloaded, you can take that screenshot of that one particular one. So let me just scroll down, and just on your computers, you have a snipping tool, and you would use those little scissors to just search for it. It's called snipping tools. Let me see if I can find an assignment. I guess the assignments are way at the bottom, and I need to charge my laptop. But give me a minute before it dies. Hopefully it doesn't. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to try to charge my laptop. So let's just pretend it's this one. And I did a screenshot of it. You do the same with your snipping tool. Sorry, let me charge my laptop. Okay, so I got a screenshot, and I'm going to come into Seesaw. And I'm going to create, and again, I would start again, title, I give my instructions. Okay, so I have a Mac, and I can't really physically show you on how to make a screenshot, but it's something that's not hard. You're gonna search on the bottom left-hand side, you're gonna search snipping tool, SNIPPING. Once you search it, you can right-click and pin it to your taskbar. And from there, anytime you need to use it, all you have to do is snip on it. And again, they're little scissors. Your DLS can showcase that to you guys, but it's not something hard. It's just that I'm on a Mac and you won't be able to see it. So I would do all I need to do, my voiceover. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna upload. This time it's on my computer. And it was a screenshot, so it's on my desktop because my screenshots go to my desktop. And let's pretend this was a reading passage, and I'm gonna upload it. And so now the kids can come and do their strategies that they need to with it, and so forth. And use the text box to put their name. And I have to click on the outside in order for me to move it, and so forth. And so now, the kids can start modifying it, or you can just give voiceover instructions on it again with the caption. or inside the instructions, the first template part of it. And I took it off, and it's there for the kids to work with and make it interactive. Okay, and it shouldn't take that long because it's just a one-page thing. Let me close a few files in the meantime. Let me close a few things that I was using. And let that load for a minute. Okay. So there it is, it's loaded already. And I'm gonna press save. And assign. And again, I can differentiate and edit just to the students who need it, or I can select everyone in my class and assign to the entire class. Close, go back to the class, and you will see it's going to be in your assignments. Oh, this one brought it into my other class. Again, somebody was asking me about creating a second class, but here's the other class. And so it should be under activities. So Raul is mentioning that from the laptop, they can use the function key and the F11. So the function key is on the left bottom part of your keyboard, and 11 at the same time, and that will do a screenshot. So that's a good shortcut. Thank you, Raul. Again, I have a Mac, so I don't have the same features you do. So thank you, Raul, for mentioning that part. Okay, any questions? So we saw different ways that you can put up the activity with screenshot as PDF, where it's going to be annotated in your Google Slides. You can add it also, and again, you would leave them on the last field to add as a template for the students to respond. This one right here, I did a digital assignment. It was a choice board. And so choice boards are really cool when you have students trying to learn a material. It allows for you to give the students choices to interact with the activity. So in this case, I have 5 choices of them to learn their learning objective. And I made this on Google Slides, and I put a Nearpod, I put a video, I put the flashcards, I put a website, and this is just a little a word cloud where they can create like a little word cloud off of all the vocabulary that they've done. And so their choice is to pick 3 of these things so they can study and learn an objective. And when you're done with that, you can give them a quiz on Google Forms or any kind of quiz to just test their knowledge. And they have interacted with that, again, choice board. And you can upload those choice boards. And I put it out for you guys on the last slide. It's on slide number 20. If you click right here, you can open it and you can make a copy of it yourself. And basically, if you just want to recreate it, it's very, very simple to do. You see me right here kind of trying to play with some of them. On the left-hand side, you can add a slide and you can color the background. You can add the little shapes. It's under shapes. And you can add shapes to it and so forth. And that is how I built my digital choice board. I put the title up at the top. I put a text box and I elongated it. I made it black. Let me show you really quick. And it's very simple to build a choice board. Again, you can get mine, copy it, and make your own. And I just started typing in there whatever color I want. You know, digital choice board, or whatever the topic is going to be here. In this case, it was digital citizenship. And my learning outcome is over at the bottom. Let me fill out this. I'm going to make it black on white. The font right here would be white. And sorry about the misspelling right here. This right here, I would highlight it. And I like to use Luckiest Guide. And then just increase it. 36 is probably good enough. And then you can center it. So that is how I built my digital choice board. I just brought in shapes and I brought in arrows, and then these things right here, I can hyperlink them for those of you who have been to our slides training. Our slides training is this week, just in case if you haven't, please come out. It's actually tomorrow. We have slides training. If you want to learn more about how to create choice boards and other items inside your slides, please come out to our Google Slides tomorrow. And again, I just went by on how to do a digital choice board. Arabella is going to cover a few new features. Well, actually, these are not new features, but she's going to cover a few features that are a part of one of the activities that might be posted, or on all the activities that you may post, just things that you can do with it. Okay, Arabella, go ahead.
Yes, Terry, thank you. All right, if you notice that right there where it says click here on the image, the little ellipsis, the 3 little dots, that has a menu for different options, other things that you can do. Among the things that you're able to do is you can edit the item, whatever the activity you have in there, you can edit it, go in there and make changes. You can also edit people, the people that it was assigned to. If you had only done certain students and now you want to do it to the whole class, you can go in there and change it and add the students, or remove some of the students if you needed to. You can also edit folders if you created folders to organize your content by content areas, your topics. Then you can go in there and edit the folder. Maybe you need to change the name on it or update it. You can edit the date if you have dates on it. Copy and edit is when you get an assignment. Say you took one from the community, you want to make a copy of it and edit it before you assign it to the kids. You would go into there. You can share the item as Terry showed you earlier. You go to share item, it'll give you a link and you can share with the other teachers in your grade level. You can also save it for a later time. And then the QR code is for the little ones, comes in really handy. If they don't have the login, you can create a QR code, and the kids would use their iPad or their device to scan the code, and it'll take them straight to Seesaw, to their lesson. They wouldn't have to sign in. And then you can also print the activity. So again, the 3 little ellipses at the bottom can give you different options for the different activities that you might have. Let me see. I think I got these features can only be seen. Okay, they're under the journals tab, which is the first tab on the dashboard. Also, let's see what we have right here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and showcase a few of them. So let's say it's right here. All those things that she just mentioned are there. You can delete your item.
Also delete it, right?
You can edit.
And it looks like it's a new thing, the delete item, because it's not on our screenshot. So maybe it was updated.
That's very true. If your child posted it in the wrong place, you can also say, oh no, this child, it belongs to this person. Because again, you can go into the child and you can open it in the journal as well to do that functionality, or you could just come overall to all of them to make the modifications you need to do with all of them. Arabella was saying you can edit the item. Oh, I forgot to do something to this PDF. And I actually put an AR video that I want them to do, and I have an AR quiz. I can still modify it and say, you know, oh, there's no science today, I'm not going to cover that. We're going to just, today's schedule is going to be this. I can still come in here and use any of the functions that are here to give the students extra additional things inside there. And again, if I had the premium, I can add a page, and it's not going to let me, but it lets me add more items in there as well. Just going to press this check mark to make it as completed. And so just explore those different features that are under the ellipsis. And again, Arabella referred to them. They were under journal. Under journal, you'll find that all your activities will have that place where you can either share that item, as I was mentioning it to you, or get a QR code, save it. If you save it, I believe if you save it, it gives you all those to refer to if you wanted to, or if you want to save your, let's say, just Carlos's work. I want to go ahead and print his PDF. And so it gives me like a record of his work. And I want to start, storing them because I need a conference with my parents. So this is a good way to view all of the work that he has submitted. And again, this is under the journal, and it's going to be just for Carlos, and all the things that he should have done, and his responses will be in there. Okay, so those were the features that were in there. Pretty awesome features. Arabella's going to talk about the folders, and I'm sure some of you have seen it, but just a quick reference on it.
Yes, and if you've seen it, there's different ways to create folders, not just one way. We're showing you two of the ways here that you can create them, and also at the bottom. So the first one is in the class settings. We haven't gone into that. That's a little wrench that is in the upper right-hand corner of your teacher dashboard. And if you notice, those are settings, and it's got other options in there. It's got if you needed to change classes or class names or anything like that. But right there, Terry went straight to the manage folders. All she did was scroll down and she got to the manage folders. And then at the bottom, you see right there where it says plus create a folder. That's where you would click on it. And then you would name your folder and you would choose a color if you just want to color code each one by content area or by topic or by teak. And there you have your different list of folders that have been created. So once you have folders and you create activities, you can always assign the activity to a folder. You can put it in a folder, and that's this. If you scroll down on that activity, Terry, right there, there is, once you've got your activity ready to go, you can just put it inside a folder, and that's one way of organizing your different assignments or activities. The other way, sorry.
It's okay. That might also help the students kind of know, okay, this is going to be your writing activity and so forth.
Mm-hmm. And then also, if you notice under the dashboard on the right-hand side where it says class journal, there's also a folder there. You could also click there.
I'm sorry, right here under journal or which one?
Yes, right there, and just scroll back right there.
Class journal.
And it also says, you can manage your folders, and then it'll give you the option to create a folder. So like I said, there's different ways, different places where you can create your folder.
Absolutely. Okay, last but not least, I'm just going to show you that again in your inboxes where you can post your announcements, and you can particularly send one announcement to a student or just post all your meets in here. And so the way I did this is that I went to send an announcement, and again, you kind of train your kids to go to the inbox, and that's where you will find announcements. And I can say, okay, I only want it to all students or a particular student. You could do that. I can actually, I think I can type the name also, but I'm just going to put all students for this time. I can come into my drive because I know my drive has my meets recordings. And we did put the steps for the meets recordings, and I can look for the folder. Let me see if it finds it easily. Let me see. It's not in a folder shared with me, but it's an actual folder that says meets recording. So let me drop down here to look for folders only. And these are my folders, and I should have one that says meets recording. I have tons of folders. I'm not finding it that quickly today, but basically all you do is you find your meets recording folder and you upload the video from in there. Let me just search for it through video instead this time. These are videos. Let's just say it's this meets. So I'm going to select it, and oh, it's too large. But I can upload it either from my drive or from, basically your Google Meets are going to be in your drive, and they're going to be under a folder called Meets. I'm not sure why I'm not finding it.
M-E-E-T only, singular, try it. Meet recordings, I think it should say.
Yeah, I'm just not finding it.
Right. I don't see it either.
It's giving me all kinds of files, but let me see if like this, I can find it in a minute. But either way, I put out the steps for you on how to do it, and it's this PDF pretty much on how you can upload. And there's one right there. Even this one is one. I'm gonna go ahead and select that one. But you would have a folder. Faster uploads. Oh, okay. So a faster way to upload it is that I can get like a shareable link instead of, actually that's highly recommended, is that if I come into my drive instead, that's a good, I'm glad that came up, because it's easier this way. Definitely that would take too long. So I have it in here. Let me look for Meet recordings. So anytime you make a Google Meets recording, it makes a folder. And this is one right here. These are all the recordings I did. I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna get a shareable link. And I can set up the rights to be, you know, public so that everybody can view it. And I'm gonna copy that link. And so when I come into my Seesaw and I'm trying to post, instead of uploading the video, which will take way too long, so I'm glad that message came out, I can just click on the link version of it. And I can say at this time, this was Google Meets for July 20th. And I can make this in red if I want. Make it stand out a little bit. And move it up here to the top. And then check mark, and it's going to be posted in my announcements. So it's attaching this link, and it's just much faster this way than trying to upload the whole thing anyways. I'm glad that message came up, because you can, any item that you have, you can actually make it a shareable link. And so type to all my students, hello students, please refer to Google Meet recording. On 0720 and send now, and it's going to post it to all the students inbox. And so anytime I'm on inbox, I will see it there. You can also post it in your journal. Some teachers have asked us, can we just post it in here? I think it's easier for the kids to refer to it. That's fine. You can come and assign it as an activity and create a new one. And again, that link, I'm going to go ahead and copy it into my Seesaw, and I can add the link in here. Check mark, check mark. It's still uploading it, but I could do it that way too. So there's two different ways you can post it in your inbox. As an announcement, or you can post it in your journal as a link. Both you want to, it's highly recommended that you use the link. And again, I'm posting the instructions right here. If you open it, it gives you step-by-step. You can print this out and refer to them. You find your Meet recording inside your drive. You click on the share, just what I did. You get that shareable link. Change the settings to make it public, and then come into your send announcements, or post an assignment, or post a student work. Actually, post student work makes it come into your journal feed. So you can post it in your student work, and then you're going to make it as a link like I mentioned, and copy the URL, and it'll come out in the inbox or inside the journal. So the two places to do it is to go to send announcement and in post student work, because post student work comes out in your journal. Let's see here. All right, that's all we have for you guys today. I have not played with it. I'm sorry, any questions? Let me go back. Ms. Lopez says, I have not played with it since the end of the school year, but editing items, adding stickers. Oh, okay, cool, that's a good question. So if I'm on Seesaw, when you add your Bitmoji icon up here, your extension, When you add it up on top to the extension, and that might take a little bit to upload. Let me see if I can, okay. Let me quickly get out of this one really quick, and let me come back to my class. Whenever you are ready to grade your kids' class at work, you can come into their journal and come and make annotations on it. I'm going to go ahead and review, let's say it was, I don't know, this PDF, just like I did right here. I put, sorry, okay. I can approve it, approve all, and then come back and edit them. Or again, send back to the kids and tell them they need to make their modification. So let me go back into one of the students. And let me look for this PDF. So earlier, Arabella did this one. I can come in here and edit the assignment under edit item. Then my annotations will come out right there. I think I already graded this one, so I can either come and, you know, let's pretend it didn't have the grade, right? I can come and get my annotation features down here, change the color, and check them off. X. And somebody was asking about the digital stickers, and all I did was come and get my Bitmoji up in the top. Your extension will come out. And you can either make your own or just find some that kind of, let's say, great. And what I mean by make your own is that in our TED Talk, good stuff. In our TED Talk, we talked about putting some out in Google Drawings and modifying the words at the top. So when you put any of the ones that are here, you want to make sure you use your shortcuts, okay? Because it will not copy paste them if you didn't put your shortcuts. So when you're here, you're gonna, you can right click copy, or you can just go ahead and press your shortcut, the control, maybe I'm gonna use this one right here. The control C, when I'm coming into Seesaw, oh no, it did that, hold on a second. Here's the undo, I can always undo the work right there. I'm gonna come over here. Actually, up here, you can right-click copy, and on within Seesaw, please use your shortcut because that item that just happened will come out instead of, you know, the big URL will come out instead of. So on here, you can right-click, but when you're inside of Seesaw, go ahead and Control V, Control Paste, so that when you get your digital sticker onto your Seesaw lesson, Control V, you can put your sticker on there and move it and resize it wherever you need to. So thanks for asking that question. That is how you make a digital sticker.
So on that one, Terry, where did you pick up the assignment from? Was it from the journal tab or the activity tab?
Yes, it could be in the journal. The journal is already, the activity is where you're creating your activities. Thank you, that's a good question.
Well, because
good way to
the question is there another way to edit items and fall back on the activity tab and not go back to the journal feed? Or is it always going to do that? Is it always going to end up in journal?
It's going to end up in journal when the students finish their assignment. I can always edit inside of activities, but this is just editing like the entire like questioning or layout of the thing. But when I want to grade them, I think a good practice is to come into journal and go to the actual student. And then from seeing his assignments or his items, you can come into that feature that you showcased earlier and edit that item. And so here was a DOL, correct this sentence, and I can say, okay, great job, or whatever at that point. So I guess you could do it in both, but I think a good practice would be to do it in the journal to give them their digital stickers. So there's a question, you can also go through activities tab. Yes, like I said, you can, but it's up to you. I mean, it's up to you, whatever you find easier, you can do. So that is it. We have come to the end of our presentation. There's other resources that you are welcome to come in and just if you want to give emoji backgrounds, backgrounds where you're adding some of your lessons or creating your slide. I'm sorry if somebody wants to mute.
I have a question. I have a question, Ms. Guerrero.
Yes.
Yes, I went back to my Seesaw account and I noticed that it's not active right now. Is that right? Because it says I only see archived, because I know I have my.
The district, is that the district account or is that your personal?
The district.
Well, just a second, Miss. Let me have everybody, please, before I answer that question, please, everybody come to slide number 21. Arabella, will you please put the training survey? We'd love your feedback. Please let us know about your feedback. You're welcome to stay in a little bit just to kind of do a Q&A with us. Arabella will post the link to the survey down at the bottom. It's also on our last slide of the presentation. But if you all would just take 2 minutes to please fill out our survey and let us know how you did. Thank you, Ms. Black. Thank you, everyone. Good luck to you guys this school year. We're here to help you guys. Know that we're always inspired by you and everything you do. And so we turn around and give our presentations all because of you and try to give you all the best resources we can find for you guys. Thank you. So, I'm sorry, the question, was this from your district account? Or what was
where you go in as you sign in with Google, you go Google and then I'm a teacher and so forth. I noticed that I can't really go into my class. Is it because they're creating it or?
Yes, if it is with the district one, they do archive them because they get rostered through our class link. They get what you call one rostered. And we upload a file of the students in there. And so that's why you're not able to access right now and start posting until you have.
Okay, so we just go ahead and wait. So we go ahead and wait till they create.
Yes, you should wait until, because again, I think they get rostered through the Skyward. If you're going to be using it for the bilingual students only. For the other ones, you may start already creating manually with your private account. So you can, it's up to you. You want to choose to do it through there, but you're definitely your bilingual ones. You have to wait until that is up and going.
Okay. So if we want to practice with it, we would have to go to the our private.
Yes, personal.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. Well, it is 11:06. We can hang out for a few minutes. If in case there's more questions, please ask at this time.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Hernandez. Thank you for joining us.
Terry,
Yes?
this is Rosa.